Hey guys, thank you so much for clicking on this review. The fact that you're willing to sacrifice a few minutes out of your day to consume my content really does mean the world to me. And today we're going to be talking about something pretty special in my opinion. And that's a new lyrical drama short film that was just released on Netflix. So Cops and Robbers was directed by Arnon Manor and Timothy Ware-Hill. And the film actually takes contributions of 30 different artists and animators. This is an incredibly short film. It's only 3 minutes in length, 7 if you include all of the credits at the end. But ultimately, it's this poet speaking. He's busy describing the pain and suffering that he and his people face in the face of police brutality. And it's very, very powerful. And while he's busy speaking, you've got these overlays of these incredibly beautiful animations. And they cover all animation styles, from traditional, 2D, 3D, stop motion. And the animation is so incredibly powerful, and it captures the pain and torment that African Americans face in America today at the hands of police officers. Netflix has never shied away from more experimental stuff. We've seen that in Love, Death, and Robots and other short films, but this one was amazing. As someone that is so removed from what an African American experiences, I was still able to engross myself in this 3-minute film and feel the emotion that was on display. I can only imagine how powerful someone who's lived through these circumstances felt while watching this. So a little bit of context and background for you guys. I'm a South African. I've lived in South Africa. We've always had a problem with race in this country. For those of you that don't know about apartheid, it was a big thing where segregation was law. So we're definitely still feeling the effects of that today. There are many people that are alive today that experienced living in apartheid. So I know all throughout high school, I'm a very artsy-fartsy kid, and I'm very creative, and a lot of my friends wrote poetry. And a lot of the poetry that they did, and when they did stand-up poetry, and when they were reading their stuff, a lot of it was race-based, about racism in the world today. And I think in many ways, South Africa is a lot more accepting of other races simply because we've got such a great blend here. We've got Asians, Indians, whites, blacks, everything. Some of my closest friends are Indians, Asians, and blacks. So for me personally, race has been something that's very difficult for me to I don't understand how someone can hate someone simply because of the color of their skin. But the sad reality is, I know that happens. I know people are treated badly and differently simply because of something they cannot control. Okay, back to the actual short film itself. As I mentioned earlier, the animation was just beautiful. We got all of these different styles, each so incredibly different from the last, but all pushing the same narrative and all able to bring this emotion into it that's able to complement what this poet is saying. We really understand the pain, the suffering that went into this animation. At times you feel almost claustrophobic when you're watching this because it's so intense and powerful and moving. The most impactful part of the whole short film for me was at the very end. They have the scrolling text. And the final line is just for being themselves. And that's really the message behind this whole movement. People are mistreated and treated unequally just for being themselves. They have no control over the color of their skin, over their race. It's something they can't change. They aren't being judged because of the contents of their character, but because they were born as. So yeah, it's a very emotional 3 minutes of your life. I would highly recommend everyone watches it, not just because of its deeper meaning, which is incredibly powerful and beautiful, but simply because of the technical marvel that it is. It's an incredibly beautiful film. Look guys, at the end of the day, as I said earlier, I'm just a white South African that is very far removed from the situation. So what I'm going to be doing is, if I see any other YouTubers of color reviewing this, I'm going to be putting their reviews down in the description below, And if I've missed anyone, please do not be afraid to DM me over on Instagram and let me know, hey, Caleb, I found this reaction, this review. Please include it in your description. They'll all be down below. But guys, thank you so much for watching. You're the best. You're awesome. Subscribe if you haven't. I would really appreciate it. And I hope to see you in another review.